What name? Baba's omniscience continued. A truck driver around the age of 28 from Pithoragarh came to see Baba at Karachi for the first time in 1966. He offered pranam, a respectful greeting made by joining the palms, and Baba asked him what name. He immediately replied, Lalit Mohan. Baba said, That's a lie, Lakshman Singh. The man was surprised to hear his real name from Baba, and by the way of explanation, he said, Baba, you're right. My name is Lakshman, and the member of my family call me by this name. In my childhood, when I was first registered in school, my family wanted a better name to be written in the school register, and they chose Lalit Mohan. This incident impressed the man so much that he became Baba's devotee and later the driver of Baba's jeep. A rupee from a poor man. One day Baba arrived with some devotee at the house of Prem Lal, the manager of Titagarh paper mills in Lucknow. Prem Lal had engaged a new servant to clean in the kitchen who was keen to have Baba's darshan. After finishing his work, he sat on the doorstep of the room in which Baba was sitting. His upper body was bare and he sat with his head bowed in reverence. Baba asked him, Whenever you visit your guru, you give him a rupee. The servant confirmed this by nodding his head. Baba then said, You have brought a rupee tucked in your waistband for me. He nodded. Baba then said, Come, why don't you give it? The servant took out the rupee and gave it to him. Who would realize the offering of lakhs of rupees, accepted a rupee from a poor man with great affection that day. Sending him away, he told his devotee, A rupee from this poor man is more valuable than your 20,000 rupees. Baba's blessings. The government of Uttar Pradesh under Chandrabhan Gupta wanted to take over the Barabanki sugar mills because of mismanagement. However, the cane growers got their way and the government gave up this intent. The government appointed Devakamna Dikshit ji, one of the mill's directors, as the mill's receiver. Dikshit ji had to collect a large sum of money to run the mill. The Central Bank of Barabanki turned down his application for a loan but advised him to approach the chairman of the bank in Mumbai. Dikshit ji came to know that the chairman was going abroad in 2 days' time but decided to hurry to Delhi and then take a flight to Bombay to meet him. On his way, he thought of receiving Baba's blessings in Vrindavan for success in his efforts. When he arrived in Vrindavan, the watchman at the ashram told him that Baba had left 2 hours earlier. Dikshitji was perturbed at not being able to see him and thought that his efforts with the bank would go in vain. Seeing Dikshit ji disappointed, the watchman asked if he had come from Kanpur. The astonished Dikshit ji said yes. The watchman informed him that before leaving, Baba said to him, A devotee of mine will come from Kanpur. Tell him that his efforts will be successful. He should take prasad from Bihariji. Bihariji's temple remains closed during the afternoon, and Dikshitji had to leave for Delhi. There's no possibility of getting prasad at that hour, but he decided to go at the door of Bihariji's temple and buy prasad from the market. While he was bowing at the gate of the temple, a man opened the door a little and came out. Dikshitji once again gave some money as an offering to Bihariji and asked some prasad. The man went inside. He came out bringing a basketful of prasad and gave it to him. Dikshitji received it happily and left for Bombay. When he arrived, Dikshitji called on the chairman of his house in the Malabar Hills, but he was not home. On an impulse, he sent the basket of prasad into the house with a message that it was from Bihariji. On receiving the prasad, the chairman's wife herself came out to meet him. They were Gujarati family. This lady had been planning for some time to go to Vrindavan to have Bihariji's darshan, but had not been able to. By getting the prasad at her home, she felt blessed by Bihariji's presence. She asked Dikshitji to return the following morning. Next day, Dikshitji met the chairman, who immediately issued orders to the bank of Barabanki to make funds available to Dikshitji as required. Dikshitji took a loan of 2 million rupees and saved the mill from total collapse. Replies to unasked questions. I met Baba at the home of my colleague Dikshitji on 14 November 1944 while I was posted to the head office of the State Bank of India in Kanpur. Baba asked me, I shall come to your house, and then got up and left. I could not understand what he meant at that moment, but my brief meeting with him had such an effect on me that I followed him in my car. Maharajji's car travelled so fast for me to keep up, but after that I had a great desire to meet him again. After some time, I found out that Baba had come to Lucknow and was at Suraj Narayan Malhotra's house. Next day, I went there with my wife and sister-in-law and found Baba sitting in a room with many devotees. We stayed outside the room, and after Baba sent all the devotees away one by one, he called us inside. First, Baba said to me, Ask what you want. I asked for his blessings, and ever since he has always bestowed his grace on me. To my sister in law, he said, You worry about your husband unnecessarily. Leave the worries aside, and all will be well. Lastly, he spoke to my wife, You have come with something in your mind. Say what you want to say. Baba asked her twice to speak out, but she kept quiet. Baba asked her once again, and when she did not speak that time, he said, All right, I shall come to your house and see you. Tell me then. My wife remained silent because she had made up her mind not to express her questions in words and wanted to hear Baba's answers in private. Later, Baba visited Dikshitji's house in Kanpur, and from there I brought him to my house. We had arranged for his receptions in the outer room of the house, but instead of going there, he said, I shall sit in your prayer room. He went into the house as he were already familiar with it. I simply followed him. He sat in the prayer room and asked me to send for my wife. Maharajji said to her, What do you want to ask? Said Still she did not say anything. Baba then spoke for about 10 minutes, answering all her questions in detail. In the end he said, Tell me if anything has been left out. As was her nature, she did not speak, but there was a look of joy and contentment on her face. Maharaj said, Never trouble a saint in this way in future. Baba left, and she told me that he gave replies to all her questions. After this incident, our all entire family became his devotees.